Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Sunday afternoon. Spurs losing 2-0 away to Fulham, which it was a weird game. It's a weird game, a game of two halves. Spurs, obviously, as we normally do, shoot ourselves in the foot. Obviously, it's not helping when you're denied a stonewall penalty as well. That's not going to help the situation included. So we're talk about the game. I want to get to this whole up in arms around Romero being substituted. Um, I'm just going to talk about it because I feel like a lot of people maybe haven't had any real injuries before in their life or a long-term injury or anything like that. So I'm just gonna sort of fill you in as to why he was substituted and why it genuinely makes sense. And even if it was Ange Postecoglou as the manager or Maurizio Pochettino, Harry Redknapp, or God himself, the substitution was correct. So I'm saying don't be people on Twitter. We'll jump in, we'll talk about it. Hey Yvonne, Spurs, Hansi, Sonia, Steve, how are we all? Look, it was a game, really, if we break it down, first half, we weren't good in the first half. We defended quite well, but we weren't good in the first half. We weren't, the link-up play was awful. I think that is Basuma done now, by the way. I think, if you sort of factor in the games that he's started or games where he's played like 30 minutes or more, they aren't coming around very often at the moment. Is he a solid player? Yeah, I said it about Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. He's a solid player. Could he play in a top 5 league? Absolutely. But he's not for what we want. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I said it about Højbjerg. I said about Emerson. Good players, but not right for Spurs anymore. And there's nothing wrong in that. There really is nothing wrong in that. Okay. But yeah, I think I sort of really now looking at Basuma, I think he is now done, unfortunately for him. He will be one of many, hopefully, moved on this summer. Obviously, we know about players that are on loan or they're coming to the end of their contract. There's going to be multiple leaving very quickly and very easily from Spurs. But yeah, regardless, we'll come back to the game. That was in the first half. It was good to see Archie Gray playing in the midfield. There was some good stuff from Archie. I was surprised that he did actually go with Archie Gray in the midfield. But he was really solid in the midfield. I didn't have any issues with that. I saw, it was really weird. I saw people going, "Oh, Matisse Tell, he didn't have a very good game today." And it was like, I don't think he was that bad. Maybe I was missing something, but I don't think Matisse Tell was that bad today at all. I know it's Twitter, and to be honest, the level of sort of conversations that you can have on Twitter are pretty much naff and sort of non-existent. They didn't think he was very good, but then again, they don't think Prime Lionel Messi is very good. So you kind of have to take it, with a massive grain of salt. But I thought he was all right. So I didn't think he was all that bad, if I'm honest. Defensively, Destiny didn't look at it today. I don't know what's some. Look, he's coming back from that injury. Obviously, I get that. It just doesn't look right now with Destiny, which is a shame. Spence played well. I thought Davies, for the most part, played well. Romero was really good when he was playing, to be fair. Obviously, Vic, I mean, the goals that we conceded today, you're not going to put them on Vic, are you? The first one by Muniz is a really lovely finish. And obviously, Ryan Sessegnon scores against Spurs, and it's an absolute banger. But that happens in the space of 10 minutes. We were 0-0 until the 78th minute. They score one, and then they scored 10 minutes later, and Bob's your uncle. That's the game over. We need to be better, though, at trying to supply Dominic Solanke, with better quality of crossing, the better quality of getting the ball into the box. That seems to be lacking, if I'm honest. Needs to be better there. But that was the first half. The second half, we came out, obviously, having made subs at the half. Obviously, like I said, Basuma had gone off at half-time alongside Brennan Johnson, with Son and Bergvall coming on. And we were the better team. in the second half, really, for large chunks of that second half, we were the better team. So Romero goes off on the 68th minute. Maddison comes on. Um, and then Odeberg comes on for Tell in the 77th minute. And obviously, look, they then score a minute later. Until they scored, I really think we were the better team. Then we had that, obviously, the penalty appeal in the 85th minute, which is a penalty. I'm sorry, it is a penalty. I don't get how it's not a penalty. VAR said, well, Bergvall kicks Bassi. It's like, because Bassi stuck his leg in the way. That's kind of how a trip works. Am I losing my mind? That's kind of how, if I trip someone up, it normally means I'm going to put my foot in front of their foot and then they trip over, right? So Bassi putting his foot and leg across him, he's going to kick his leg, isn't he? Because he's running. It's like VAR officials have never, ever played football before in their life. They have no idea how it works. But we should have had a penalty 85th minute, and we were 1-0 down at that time. You scored that goal. Game on. Game on is all I'm going to say. I don't think we played well in the first half. I thought we played decently in the second half. Bergvall looked very, very solid. Obviously, Romero goes off for Maddison. Gray drops back into centre-back. They didn't want to risk Mickey today. I get that, to be fair. My thinking is play the long run game. I mean, you think Mickey's now going to have a couple of weeks where he's not playing international football. They'll do a bit of training and rehab from, through those 2 weeks. Obviously, there's players that get time away from international football will normally get away for a few days and go on holiday. So Mickey will see. But yeah, Mickey obviously will get some time back for himself there. I can get why he didn't come on. Now, let me bring up the whole Romero thing. If you're sitting there and you're complaining about Romero being substituted, you've never had an injury before, in my opinion. You've never had an injury before. He's played 70 minutes against Bournemouth. He's played 90 minutes against AZ Alkmaar. And then he's going to have played another 70 minutes this weekend. He is just coming back from a long-term injury, right? Like a long-term injury where he's not played. Yeah? That's, just, again, mostly for people, because there's going to be someone watching us right now who's angry that Romero got substituted. So I'm really going to be talking to you. If you're not angry about it and understood it, then sorry, just tag along for this ride. So he's played 3 games where he's played just about 90 minutes in every single one of those games, right? He is not fit. Mickey van der Ven is not fit. Ben Davies is not fit. Danso is not fit. Dragosin is not fit, right? Those are your 5 centre-back options. None of them are fit. Just because they can put a pair of boots on does not mean they are 100% fit. I don't think Dominic Solanke's 100% fit. How he's playing 90 minutes, I don't know. I think it's a bit foolish, in my opinion, to be playing him so much football, but you know what I mean? He shouldn't have been going off, right, in your eyes. In my eyes, I understood why Romero was substituted. I did. I've ruptured an anterior cruciate ligament. I've torn a meniscus. I have pulled as many hamstrings as you could physically imagine in my time playing sport. Coming back from one of those injuries, I was not right for a while, and I would be playing once a week, and I wouldn't be having to play that sort of level of football. I wasn't right. I wasn't right to play 90 minutes very quickly. It took me a while to get back to 90 minutes a week. You're asking him to play 90 minutes 3 times a week. He can't do it, and we're also trying to plan for the future. He isn't fit. If you think he should be playing 90 minutes every single game and running him into the ground, you're just as much to the problem as well as the medical team. I'll say it like it is. That's how you injure your players again. That's how you destroy them again. There's a reason why Richarlison's out right now this second, yeah? Solanke got injured. We ran him into the ground because we had no one else. Where is he now? He's back in the injury room. So, yeah, for my attitudes, I had no issues with Romero going off. Again, had my injuries. I've had some pretty big ones. I had bigger ones than his toe injury and his quad injury. And it took me a long time to get back. It's going to take him a little while. And I'd rather not sort of rush him back and run him into the ground for Fulham away. Maybe I'm a bit different. Maybe I'm a bit different, and maybe we should run every single player into the ground, destroy every single player, and injure every single player. Maybe let's not do that. That's my thinking, at least. Maybe I'm newer school. I'm 29, and I know I'm old school with a lot of my thoughts, but maybe I'm newer school in this mindset of let's not destroy every single player that we get back from injury. It's a ballsy decision, I know. Looked like Bassi won the ball for that penalty, but agree 4 times out of 5. It's just a penalty, mate. It's just my thinking is it's just a penalty. You know, if that was in the middle, think of it this, right? Think about it this way. Halfway line, that happens, that's a free kick. Might even be a booking, but it's a free kick. 25 yards out, it's a free kick. In the penalty, it should still be a penalty. It's a foul. You step across the player, you trip him up. It's a foul. The fact that the referee said it wasn't a foul, automatically there and then, not terrible refereeing. So then got sent off to his buddies in VAR, and they got it wrong after looking at about probably 20 different angles of it, and they still say, "Yeah, no, it's not a penalty." Shows you haven't got a Scooby what they're looking at. That no call was used like, yeah, I know it's bonkers, isn't it? Piece by piece. Season's over. They're all on holiday. Well, no, I think some of them are in Fulham. That's still London, so I don't know if that's a holiday. Romero's good, absolutely. This game wasn't important. That the one mistake, Jesus, this fan base. Oh, we love a reactionary take, don't we? Oh, people that want Ange out. I heard nobody say that after Thursday night, and that actually proves so many quotes that came out from the last sort of few days. We're always Mr. Hindsight. We're reactionary. He says there's nothing wrong with having your opinion. Just say it beforehand. Nobody said it on Thursday. Nobody said a word. No one said a word in my previews about it. Just say it before it happens, you know? That's for me. It's just I take no notice of it now. You can want him out, not a problem. Not a problem. What I can't be asked for is after every single loss, Ange out, but we win a game, nobody says a word. Keep the same energy. That's what I have no issues with you wanting him out, but just keep the energy. We lose a game, say Ange out. We win the Europa League, you can say Ange out. I want you to continue that. You won't, obviously. I know you won't because winning cures all. Hell, no one said anything about Daniel Levy and Enick. Just my thing is keep the same energy, you know. If our defenders were there, we'd have drawn. Well, shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know. Was really disappointed how Rodrigo just kept vacating the midfield before he moved there. We weren't being attacked through the middle as much, if at all. Yeah, it's just he's not a 10. He's just not a 10, you know. Again, for me, I don't train the players. You don't train the players. You don't see training. I don't see training. I don't see him in the gym. You don't see him in the gym. So I get, you know, if Ange's picking a team, there's a reason why he's picking that team. Would that be the team that I would have wanted? Probably not. No. You know, I would have wanted to have seen a Madison, to be fair. But to be fair, when you make those substitutions at half time and Son and Bergval come on, you're making 2 changes, right? We looked miles a better team. We were better than them, you know? So it shows in reality, the changes that we want to make, it's 1, maybe 2. It wasn't a lot today. And to be honest, if Romero was 100% fit, we wouldn't have had those issues today, you know? But anyway, moving on, because I want to talk about some other stuff. Let's go through some of the stats of the deer. So looking at it, it's quite a weird little it's an even game. And these stats are so similar to last year, by the way, when we lost 3-0. I mean, they had 13 shots, 4 on target. We had 12 and 4. So the one difference between them. With 1 less corner than them. They had some more possession than us, but as we all know, possession doesn't win games. If you think like that, it's because you play too much FIFA. Look at now, Spurs still in 13th. That hasn't changed. Obviously, do Man United play tonight? Am I being a bit of an idiot? They play tonight, don't they? Yeah, they were at Leicester at 7 p.m. Obviously, the EFL Cup, which is the League Cup. It is the League Cup. I'm not calling it EFL Cup. It's the League Cup. That is on in basically 40 minutes. Liverpool versus Newcastle. Um, I don't think either of those impact us in terms of games coming ahead because we play Liverpool probably in about a month's time. Mm, maybe 6 weeks time actually. Um, yeah, that looks like it doesn't affect us. But look, it is what it is today. You know, it was a great performance in the first half. Second half, miles better. You're not going to win every game, all right? I know there are some Spurs fans that think we should win every game 12-0, but it isn't going to happen. You get screwed by that VAR decision. It's 1-0. You come out of this game with a 1-1 draw. It's not actually that bad a result. Not too bad. We probably, yeah, I mean, we probably could have gotten maybe a second in that game had we got the penalty given to us. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Weird how this team always loses right before an international break. Do you know what? I can't put my finger down on the psychology of that. Why is it just before an international break they lose? Is it because Ange used to be an international manager? Is that what it is? Because it's last five now. So I'm not pinning this on like a Poch or a Mourinho or a Conte or a Mason or a Nuno. Last five. They must look at Ange and go, well, Ange will understand if I kick my feet up today. You know? Pardon me. Romero was great. Yeah, Romero was great. Kulu's back soon. Kulu is back soon. I'm buzzing to get Dejan Kulusevski back. So he should be back right after the international break, hopefully. We haven't really heard much, but I assume he is going to be back after the international break, which is it Chelsea away? Ooh, let me just double check. Yeah, Chelsea away is the first one, and then Southampton at home. And then we got Frankfurt in the cup. So there you go. Only 13th on goal difference, not points. Yeah, but I always look at goal difference as an extra point, you know. But you know what I mean. We're pedantic about that, you know what I mean. 50 defense in the Premier League, Christian Gross done better. Cool. I was more disappointed at the first half performance. Kevin, I agree. The first half performance wasn't great. It wasn't. Second half, obviously, much better. And I don't think the scoreline reflects that. But the first half, yeah, not at the races, were we? But no, you know, for the people that have wanted to have seen Archie Gray at central midfield, so did I. I wanted to see Archie Gray at central midfield. We saw it for 68 minutes. Looks promising. I think obviously let's give him 7 or 8 games in that midfield to really find his feet again there. I'm not gonna hold him to this one game because there was good and bad. I'm not gonna hold him to it. Let's give him a good run of games and see what we have there. Because that's the only fair way to do it, you know. And plus, he's young. I was surprised Ange did it. I didn't think Ange would, but we'll sort of see. Europa is the most important thing now. Absolutely. If Ange didn't win the Europa League, he has to go. The league game is so horrible to watch. Well, if you win, honestly, this was shocking for some people to hear. If Ange wins the Europa League, he's a better manager than Conte, Mourinho, and Pochettino, and that's just factual. So many times people would go, I would take 17th if we win a cup competition. If he wins the Europa League, he's also won a European competition. I don't know where the evidence is that you think we wouldn't, those managers are better, because actually for Spurs, because Mourinho's better than all of them, right? Because Mourinho's won the most amount of trophies. He's had, you know, treble winning seasons. He's done it across different leagues. Conte, you'd say, is second. Poch is third. You say Ange is fourth, right? But if Ange wins the Europa League for Spurs, he's done a better job than those managers. And that I'm just saying. I don't think in terms of like actual that he's better, but what I'm saying is if he's won something, he is better because of that. You know? So Poch isn't coming back anytime soon. Yeah, Poch revisionism, Conte revisionism, all that revisionism. I'm bored. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want Poch back. I don't want Conte back. By the way, Conte's Napoli drew to second bottom away to Venezia. Haven't heard a word from the Spurs fan base about that today. Watch the game. It was awful to watch. It was the worst football I've seen, and actually worse football than I witnessed as a Spurs fan under Conte. It was awful. Do I care? Should you care? No. Because that's what it's all about. That's in the past. Let's forget about him. Yeah. Here we are. We're here now. Let's think about the now and let's think about the future. Whenever will Spurs lose Ange for good? In his first 6 or so games at Spurs, he never made changes in his team sheet. Now makes changes without the combinations even start reading. He's making changes because he's got to. You're not going to have players play 60 games a season. He's also not got fit players to play 90 minutes fully. Son wouldn't have played 90 minutes today. I was hoping Maddison would play sort of 60, 70 today. He came off the bench, obviously, today. Romero can't play 90 minutes as such. Again, when you've had injuries, the way you keep people fitter is by rotating. You need to use fresher legs. I didn't expect to see Pape today. I expect to see rotation into the midfield just for him alone. So, why does a doggy just stop running when there is open space in front of it? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Destiny. I'm struggling with Destiny. I get that obviously didn't get his preseason and things like that, but you thought hopefully he would grow into the season, especially like this period of the season. Maybe not so when we were missing, 12 players. But now you would hope he would be growing into the season a little bit, having had a week off. There was some good stuff. Obviously, you'll look at Twitter and they'll tell you that Destiny Doggy is the worst footballer in the world and they hate him. But actually, if you watch the game, there was some good stuff in that game. But like you're saying, there is a few times where you kind of go, why haven't you gone there? You sort of slowed up, pulled it back, and then allowed them to press onto the ball that you've passed. So I'm struggling a little bit with some of the things that he does. So I do sort of agree. You like Tell on the wing. I did like Tell on the right wing, had a good chance, obviously, in the second half, which then Solanke misses. I wouldn't say it's a sitter, but Solanke misses a bit of a point blanker. But I like Tell. Tell showed some good stuff today. Good work rate. Didn't mind it as much today. Yeah, I thought he was all right, to be fair. Tell did okay. Had 2 decent chances. I think it's time to chop Basuma and Johnson. Well, yeah, with Johnson, we'll see. Because I think with Johnson, that's more of a finance thing. That won't be on Ange, and it won't be on me or you. It'll be on, they look at how much they have left to pay on Brennan Johnson. They go, but we want this then to cover our losses. Will they get that? I don't know. What that figure is, we don't know. The form is shocking for the whole team. We can't beat proper opponents. Okay. Positives of the match. Gray can handle the 6. Team still needs another, but Gray is a future 6. Yeah, I agree. Gray did look very good. My Leeds friend was much happier that he was playing the 6. My Leeds friend doesn't really like Bergvall, by the way. He gets a little bit rattled by Bergvall. But I'm looking forward to seeing Archie play more in the 6. I think, with Big Kev should be back after the international break. Obviously we know Radu's out till basically January next year. Give or take. Some people went, how do you know that? How do you know that? It's like, had an ACL injury. Shut your mouth. How about that? I think, looking at it, Big Kev will be back. Mickey will be fit after the international break. We'll see about Romero. I really hope I don't see Romero play 90 minutes for Argentina. I hope between Spurs and Argentina have gone, can we come up with a deal that he doesn't play 2 full 90 minutes, mate, if that's possible? Maybe he plays just one of those games or he plays 45 minutes in each. Hopefully the Spurs can kind of get a bit of a deal with them. No issues with him playing for Argentina, by the way. Again, that's gone quiet. That's gone so quiet. No one's complaining about Romero's off to Argentina. It's just this reactionary fan base that we have. It's so boring. I'm angry about this today. I'm angry about this today. I'm angry about this today. And I'm angry about this today. And it's like, pick and choose what you're angry about and keep it there. Doggy needs more games. He doesn't even. What's the point to rest Van de Ven? I just don't want his hamstrings to blow up personally. Desi had a amazing first year, so we're holding to a standard of perfection for us. Every player has slumps. He just needs. He's had a few mental lapses. I still look. I think we all agree there's a player there in Destiny Doggy still. There's no denying that. And maybe a preseason and a tour and all those things is what he truly needs. But at the moment, the form isn't there, and that's fine. We're not getting relegated, so who cares? A revenge is far from our biggest problem, especially when I can see patterns when we play well. We play really well. It's just a couple of things missing. I'm not saying he's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Not one of us isn't perfect. Richard Rolson could be close to perfect, but like I'm not perfect. Hansi, Paul, Anthony, Nasika, yourself, Kevin. A lot of us, we're not perfect. We have our flaws. Because they're footballers and they work in football, they earn good money. We hold them obviously to a higher standard because we do want success. As a fan base, we want success. We want to be proud of our team. We want to be proud of the fact that we're winning trophies. Like there's a cup final in 28 minutes that we were 90 minutes away from being in the game today. We were 1-0 up going into the second leg against Liverpool. We were 90 minutes away. Obviously, what happened, and I'm not really going to go into that. But right now, Liverpool, Newcastle, we want to be that game. I don't want to be doing this review right now. I want to be doing a review in like 2.5 hours where I'm having a beer or I'm having a rum and coke or I'm having a bit of whiskey that I can just be happy that Spurs have won a trophy that we last won a long time ago. So that's all we want. At this moment, if you had to pick only 6 forwards from our squad for next season, who would it be? Tell, Kulu, Odebert, Johnson, Werner, Moore, Son, Richarlison, Solanke, Scarlett, Lancashire. Well, for guarantees, Kulu, Odebert, Son, Solanke. I'll have those 4. Okay, guaranteed. Johnson, we're not going to have. Lancashire or Scarlett, one's going out on loan. I think Mikey I would want. Richie, I think you'd sell and bring someone else in for him. So I guess maybe the Richarlison replacement, that would be my 6 guaranteed. Yeah, I'd probably say so. Tell was great. Johnson's been great moments too. I don't think we ship him out. I don't think they will ship him out. Brendan Johnson crap back causing problems for our fullback. We'll build a squad. How many times Fulham get to the bar on the left-hand side in the first half? Couldn't tell you. I was perfect, but then it was pointed out I was vain. I was very sad. I hate that day when it happens. I thought I was perfect. I'm not. Oh, well, that's the day ruined. Biggest issue with this team is there's no natural flow of passes are made by players knowing where the teammates are going to be. Look, I think having no creativity in the midfield is a killer today. I really do think so. Again, he must have had Ange I'm talking about, must have had a plan in place and mindset. I think it didn't work today. I didn't think it would work from kickoff, but we look better in the second half. I think, okay, let's do it this way. Let's say Romero was substituted and Big Kev Danso came on, right? So we're still at 0-0, 68th minute at this point where Romero gets substituted. Big Kev comes on. It's 0-0. Do you think, with Archie Gray still being in the midfield at this point as well, do you think Spurs lose that game? Do we draw that game? Do we win that game? Where do we think we would be at that situation? Because for me, the penalty decision, that would still have come about probably. That's a penalty for us. Maybe you give them a goal. And I think that would be 1-1. Which ironically was my first shout. I said 2 so I was half right this time. But yeah. You would keep Johnson. Johnson's got 14 goals in all comps. Yes, Johnson can score, but I feel like there are so many players that we can get to do the same and more. Honestly, do you know what? I think Johnson needs to get some confidence back because I watched his stuff at Forest, his last season at Forest, and I saw why we wanted him. He looked such a good player. I think there's some real confidence issues there that he needs to get back. Even Dragic. Oh, big drag. Agreed choices. Wish we replaced Richarlison with someone like Semenyo, Cunha. I take Cunha be a player, but I don't see us doing that. Mr. Hindsight say if Danso was on, Spurs would have scored. I know, right? I'm proving Andrew's point, Mr. Hindsight. Had the commentator saying how long Silva was in charge of Fulham, and just think our fan base don't really want the project they tout out so loudly. I'd keep Ange for at least one more summer. The issue is people want Thomas Frank, which is a very pragmatic manager. We chase every pragmatic manager out of the club, so he wouldn't work very well. Iriola, injury issues galore. I don't think, if you look at their situation at the moment, they're not in a great run of form either in Bournemouth. Excuse me. I mean, people wanted Inzaghi from Inter. It's like, do people want to go back to that 3-5-2? I don't think people could stomach it, if I'm honest. So I don't know if there is the perfect manager out there. If we were to move on from Ange, I don't know if there is the perfect manager out there. You know, I don't think there's a perfect manager in the Premier League. No, I don't think there is. I mean, people might say Liam McKenna from Ipswich, but again, it's like, is that job not too big for him? But I don't think there's a perfect manager out there. I'm not sure I really want Javi, if I'm honest. Yeah, I don't know. Josh is not a winger. Can't dribble, pass, or cross. His cross is not bad, Anthony, mate. I know you don't like him, but his crossing isn't that bad. Romero coming off changed everything. Yeah, it did, but him being substituted was to be expected. I'm surprised he stayed on as long as he did. Johnson has Werner disease. Yeah, but Werner can actually go past players, you know, which getting players' fitness back, absolutely. I don't think Iriola is the perfect manager. If you think Iriola is a perfect manager, then you must think Ange is pretty much close to perfect as well. That they're very similar in that regard. I don't think Iriola would be what the if you can't handle the injuries and the physical demands that Ange puts players under, you're going to seriously struggle with what Iriola does as well. It is pretty much carbon copy, but just more of the European sort of linguistic side of it, if you know what I mean. Feels like once we win a trophy, people will be more open for a project. The banter from other fan bases have pushed majority of our fan base to win a trophy at any cost. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's you spot on there. To be fair, like Glasner. Glasner, I do like Glasner. I do. He's signing a new deal at Palace, so he won't be leaving. Every manager in the world that plays their players in their preferred positions will be better than Ange. So, I mean, looking at the team today, everyone was playing in their pretty much positions. The midfielders were all in the midfield. The winger was on. The wingers were on the wing. The striker was in the striker. The left back's the left back. The right back's the right back. I mean, yeah, Jed Spencer's actually played in his right position today. Centre backs. People keep telling me Ben Davies is a centre back and keeper's a keeper. So playing in the right position, you take Terzic. That's the one that I definitely wouldn't want. We have the pragmatic manager before, but we don't have the squad to succeed. Now we have a quality. I don't think we have a quality squad, Anthony, mate. I'm going to flat out argue that every day of the week. We do not have that squad that you think we do. We don't. We don't have a backup number 9 at the moment. We have Bissouma playing in the midfield who's out of form. We're playing Bentancur who's out of form. We've got one right winger in Brennan Johnson. I'll give you a tell, but he's only just come in, so we don't really know what we have there. We've got a 32-year-old left winger. I mean, people slagging dragged off Odebear for weeks on end. God's greatest gift in the week, obviously, because that's what we do as a fan base. We're very reactionary to it. But I don't think this squad is near good enough. We haven't got a backup left back. So, no, this squad is not a quality squad by any means. Glasner would leave Palace if Tottenham came in for him. I don't think he would. I don't, actually. Anyone got Xavi's number? I guarantee if we play Frankfurt today, this team would have been so different. So absolutely. Even Linesman played in the correct position. Yeah, Ange out. The linesman was in the right position. No, Ten Hag's crap. I can't wait to see. Here we go for Bentancur and Biss in the summer. We will be there. Like someone said recently, every other recent manager had. Well, look, every manager that we've had has had Kane. I mean, people go Conte. Had a younger son, had the world's best striker, had Romero, had the similar sort of players. But Andy, he came fourth. He also alienated the whole squad. He was a coward to Daniel Levy and bottled it. Played some of the worst football I've ever witnessed. Watched Napoli again today. They were even worse than what we were, which that means you'd go, wow, that must have been awful. I don't get it. Do I think Ange is the best manager for us? I don't think so. Do I think there's a perfect manager? No. I can understand why people might want a Thomas Frank. I can understand why people might want a Xavi. I think I can understand why people might want who else is someone we're linked to. Is it Hernus? Is we linked with Hernus? Maybe so. Maybe so. There's no one perfect though. I can point flaws out of all of them. I can point flaws in Ange. I can big up things that all those managers do. But for people wanting to get a manager who's good with 40% possession, we chase every one of those managers out of the club, by the way. We chase every single one of them out of the club. So give it a year, 18 months, Thomas Frank would be sacked alongside anyone else that we brought in that's pragmatic. And then we're back to the start. Every 18 months. Love it. Oh, love it. Never going to build that project that we all want. Oh, yeah. It's just, you know what I mean? Adoggy's a wing back, forced player is an inverted fullback. Well, he's playing at a left back. He is a left back by trade. Can he play wing back? Maybe is he better there? Yeah, but he is a left back. Basuma's a box spot, has been ruined from playing DM so much. Son's best attribute is cutting inside, forced to be a touchline winger. Pretty sure I saw him cut inside loads this season. Maybe I'm watching a completely different game, but all right. Just try to lose him, man. Yeah, me too. Not sorry. Chelsea fans hated him. Ben Davies needs to be resigned as an excellent backup centre back. I don't know if he will. I think they might move him on. And should have been sacked in January. It's too late now. We're top three in terms of goals, even though the injury crisis, our attack's not a problem. We just can't defend and we're so open at the back. Okay, Anthony. I can't be asked, mate, but yeah, okay. Andy says the squad is only halfway through. Let Ange have some more windows. Tyler's too. I know that Ange is too. No to Frank. I think we'd have a deeper squad. Ange wouldn't get so much hate. With us, it's just too extreme. If we win, every player's the best in the league. If we lose, everyone is crap. It should be sold. Just a bit of level-headedness. Criticize, yes, but come on. Yeah, that's all I've ever wanted, some level-headedness. Point out when people have made their mistakes. Point out when things aren't good, but context is key. You can see why I'm frustrated with some things in some of the comments there. You can see that I'm frustrated because it's like, by the way, you need to add in the context. No, I don't. I've only just watched highlights. How bad was it overall? First half, not good. Second half, we were the better team. They scored a goal after Romero got substituted. We should have had a penalty, and that would have been 1-0 in the 85th minute. Danzo's a big loss too. Absolutely. Am I still Ange in? I don't think I'm a tweener. I'm not Ange in or out. I think I'm just seeing what the Europa League does, like most of you. That's the way I would sum it up. Still got an opportunity to win a trophy this season. If we win it, he will be here next season. If he doesn't, and if he gets to the final, we lose on penalties, I think he might be here again next season. If we go out against Frankfurt, I would understand as to why people might want him moved on. And I don't think anyone's wrong for wanting Ange out. I'm not saying you're wrong or right. You can want Ange out. It's not a problem. My would say is just don't be like Jamie Carragher, okay? IQ just plummets after listening to him. Hence why whenever he's on commentary, I always mute the commentary. I can't listen to him. I cannot listen to him. After listening to Joe Hart and then listening to Jamie Carragher, I'm like, oh my God, I got used to good. Don't bring me down to delusional, idiotic, moronic abilities on the mic. So please, you level head, and he's unlike some of my fans. Yeah, I think people are misconstruing. I'm unhappy with the result today. I am. I want to win every game. You're not going to. That's not the way football works. But what I have the issue is people going, Romero should play 90 minutes. What? So There's plenty of good stuff out of this game. Try and be glass half full. That's just my attitude in life across the board. At work, with your mates, down at the pub, in the gym, watching a TV show, glass half full. Find the glass half full. There's a positive in every negative situation if you're willing to find it. If you're only just talking negatively, then there's things probably in your own life that you might want to have a look at. That's my thing. All right. If we kept Ange, what players do you think we need to best utilize this style of play? We need another creative midfielder. We need a left back. Probably could do with a right winger. You need another striker. And you need another six. So this one, I mean, we still need to sign at least 6 players this summer to be giving him a squad of there's some quality in here. The squad that he's got now is not nearly good enough. Again, if you're gonna shell out and just cut the wages back, don't demand to finish 5th again. If you're not gonna give the manager the support, and this isn't an Ange thing. This is just a manager thing as a whole. It doesn't matter who the manager is. If you keep cutting back on that manager, they aren't going to do as well. Look at Pochettino. He kept cutting back on Pochettino until it was too late, and then he got sacked. Wages correlate to success. Fact. Okay? I mean, people talk about Nottingham Forest. I like Nottingham Forest. Okay? I like Nottingham Forest. They spent a lot of money, all right? Don't think they haven't. Owner cares, you know? What have I missed? A few more comments, and then I'm going to get ready to watch the League Cup final. The thumbnail sent me sorry for the loss. What do I think about Sankey? Good player. We're much better with him. Hi, everyone. Coys, we lost. Ain't the first time or the last time. Second half looked better, but at the same time, we lost it in the second half. Yeah, we lost our heads towards the end for sure. Ange out or Ange in, people have turned that into a personality trait. An introductory question when they want to get to know you. Gotta love Spurs fans. If you're going to sell off Romero, at least bring on Mickey. Why is he being managed so carefully so we don't get him injured? I mean, mate, you pretty much answered your own question. All I know is Romero is world class. We miss him so much. Absolutely. I know the positions, but what players the style of play? I want a player at left back who's a lot like a doggy. I would have liked a Dorgu. It still hurts to see him at Manchester United. We would have liked him. I mean, Bradley Locko would have been a player for that as well. But again, it's like people want Robinson. Robinson's not going to come to us. I don't see us. He's going to cost 50 odd million. I don't see Spurs doing that. And that's the other thing. It's like, as much as I might want someone, would we do that? No. Alejandro Balde from Barca would be great. I would love him. Fran Garcia from Real Madrid, love him. That's not going to happen. That's why I have an issue with that question, because it's like, I want to give you what I want, but it's not going to happen, you know? We need to realize if we keep losing Prem games, we might not have momentum going in Europe, and Frankfurt are not like AZ might get beat. Still got 2 games leading into that game, first game, mate. And it's Southampton at home's the one before, which if you win that, you're going with some momentum, you know? How did we get here? I blame influencers like you, mate. It's all my fault, I know. Poch is clear of Ange. Okay. He's not my manager, so I don't really care about Pochettino. Well said. The problem isn't the manager, it's Enik not fully supporting the manager. And that only creates currently an equally thin squad. Meanwhile, Chelsea peaked at 43 players. It's just 43 players out on loan. They've still got about 1,000 players. Annie, what do I think Slanky? I've answered that one already. We need someone else to pass like mad as supply to the front. Yeah, do you know what? That's a problem, isn't it? The midfield, there's just no real play through the lines player. Like watching Romero at centre back play through the lines, I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. Romero is actually unreal with the ball. But we've got no one that's on the creative side of those things, you know? I also feel like when we recruit players, we need to let them know that our fan base can be very harsh and appreciative and even toxic. That may prepare them for not losing confidence and passion. Kevin, that is the comment of the day. We need a manager with proper tactic. Okay. Thank you for answering. I blame Levy. Year after year, it's always on Enik, or even better known as I think we need a player that can hold on to the ball Only Madders can do that. Yeah, that's the one thing about Kulu that drives me a little bit bonkers is giving away the ball. When it works, it's unreal when it works, but you know. Now I never get to see Eze. Is he a creative player? Eze would be, yeah. Eze would be, yeah. Will the 18-month cycle ever end? If we sack Ange and we go back into that cycle, will people ever give him time? I'm sick of people being impatient. A rebuild is highs and especially lows. It won't end. Well, that's the thing, Martin. When it comes to rebuilds, we obviously at Spurs, right? We're a big club. We expect success. There's nothing wrong with expecting success. Now, to the level that you expect is where probably the line gets drawn. I think some of our fans think we should win the quadruple every year and smash every team off the park. Even though of all the other big six clubs, we spend the least on wages, but turn over more money than a lot of them. So you see, there's a real issue combining the two there. I get what I see some people are struggling with though. You know, sometimes they see great things like on Thursday night, and then they see 65 minutes of Bournemouth last weekend. You see 45 minutes this weekend where we didn't play well, and I get why they're struggling with it. I do. I'm not bemoaning that. What I'm bemoaning is the reactionary takes that we seem to have every single game. Why is it that people's whole personality around Spurs is based on the game they're watching there and then? Trust me, after those first 10 games last season, right? There was people within those first 10 games of the season complaining about Spurs. So trust me, it's not just now. Even when things were great, people were still complaining about it. We were winning games under Conte, right? We were winning like 1-0s and 2-1s. We were, awful football, but we were winning games. People were complaining about the fact that we didn't play well, but we'd win a game. So you're never going to make everyone happy. That's why I choose to kind of just ignore most of the negativity. That's why I don't watch a lot of other fan channels and across all clubs and other sports, I don't watch them. I like to form my own opinion, give it to you. What you do with it is what you do with it, right? You don't have to agree with anything I say, nor would I want you to agree with everything that I say. But I also don't do this. That's the issue that I find with just fan bases across the whole. If I go down to the pub, I could say to an Arsenal fan who won today, I think they won today. It was 1-0 last time I looked. Oh, you won today, mate. Good result. Yeah, no, good. Arteta out, though. Like, he didn't play my one player that I wanted. You'd get that. Whereas you could go, like, let's say Arsenal won today, right? But scraped it. Just scraped it. I'd go, won today. You'd get a more logical fan go, yeah, we didn't play well. But you know what? 3 points is 3 points. Got to pick up the performances, though. Level-headed. Feel like I can have a conversation with you about your club. A Chelsea fan today, right? They lose 1-0. They didn't play well. I think it was 1-0 again. But even if it's 2-1 or 2-0, I don't care. Let's just say that. I'll use them as an example today. I'll go to a Chelsea fan. Tough one today then. Yeah, didn't play well, mate. Didn't play well. Didn't have Palmer, though. Didn't have a few players, but didn't play well. International break. Obviously, got you boys after the international break. We'll just sort of see how we go. But, want to pick up some form. Obviously, still got a lot to play for in the Conference League. Cool. Right. I'm going to get a pint because I want to have a conversation with you about your football club because I feel like we can have that conversation instead of tough one today, mate. I hate Maresca. I hate this. I hate that. Cole Palmer's overrated. Reece James is the worst captain we've ever had. Screw this club. Those are the people that I don't want to have a conversation with. You're living in cuckoo land. This is the first time in a while since Poor hasn't played a game. Many patience. When we don't play amazing, I don't even think Ange was attacking. We spend most of the time defending and counter-attacking. Yeah, AI football, GGO mentality from our fans. Too unrealistic expectations. Some fans seem to revel in negativity. They do, Yvonne. That's why I tune them out, to be honest. I hate other fan channels. Honestly, the bigger the channel, the more they whine. Always pessimistic. Well, the idea with fans is if you lose, you get to complain more. You might get a bit more viral from it, and therefore people watch you more, subscribe more, you get more revenue. That's why those fan channels do that. Trust me, I've been doing this fan channel. I think this is the third year I've been doing it. I would have so many more subscribers, in my opinion, if I was like hammering, crazy takes. Because you'd get fan bases from you get some Arsenal, you get some Man United, you get some Aston Villa, you get some Brentford subscribing, wanting to watch me have my meltdown. I just don't have my meltdown. Hence, the people that do watch me have been here for a while, and they tune in every single day because they go, I'll be able to have a good football conversation with Andy. Okay, you can't hear my opinions, but I can comment and I can have that chat with him. And that's why we gradually, slowly grow every single day. We don't change our tune. You spot on. How are you, Matt, by the way? It's been a little while. Look at City. How many games have they lost to? Trying to cheer myself up. Some of the channels live for us to lose. Yeah, they do. There's been a couple that reached out to me recently to get me on their channel, so I have to keep you posted on that because there's been a couple. One I am more open to going on than the other, so we'll sort of see though. You would take Reece. Reece James is a player, just needs to get fit. Oh, could you imagine Reece James under Ange Postecoglou with his hamstrings? Oh, you'll get so many Spurs fans just hating him. We need patience for Ange and we need patience for some of our players. Like Brennan, he could have scored a brace the week prior and then we could hate him the next. I love your weekly breakdowns of our loans. Oh, yeah, love loan roundup, mate. Still do the loan roundup for Tuesday, but we'll do an international football roundup this time as well with other times. Thanks so much for your channel, Andy. Great sensible talking. I always see predictors to say Spurs are next club to go and win something, but with the attitude that some have, an 80 cycle, will it ever happen? Well, there's a lot of factors that go into these things. There just is, you know. But thank you, by the way, Yvonne. But look, thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. I'm going to go put the football on. Going to kick back. I'm going to enjoy Liverpool versus Newcastle in the League Cup final. Go and enjoy the rest of your days, everyone. Don't let football ruin your day, all right? Don't let it happen. And I'll speak to you all real soon. Take care, everyone. Peace.